For the first time in its history, Nike launched a sneaker in Africa before anywhere else on earth, not New York, not Tokyo, Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire, and that sneaker sold out. In the next 6 minutes, I'm going to show you how African-based brands went from being inspiration for global companies to being the ones holding the pen. Let's start with that Abidjan moment. It's called the Air Max RK61, and it came out of a partnership between Nike and Air Afrique, a Paris-based creative collective that resurrected the name of a defunct Pan-African airline that used to connect West and Central Africa back in the 60s and 70s. Every detail on this shoe tells a story. Morse code spelling out the airline's name on the outsole. A zipper pull shaped like the original airline logo. Even the sock liner is inspired by vintage aircraft seats. This wasn't a brand slapping a country's flag on a shoe. This was actual cultural archiving, turned into a product. And Nike didn't just design it with African creatives, they launched it there first. That's never happened before. But that's not even the collab that made history. That one's coming up. And it involves a woman who became the first African woman to ever design her own signature Nike shoe. Meet Grace Ladoja. She's the founder of Homegrown, a Lagos-born music festival and fashion label that's become one of the most influential culture brands out of Nigeria. Nike didn't just sponsor her, they handed her the keys to design an entire Air Max Plus, making her the first African woman to design her own signature shoe for the company. Think about what that actually means. For decades, global brands took inspiration from Africa, prints, patterns, silhouettes, without putting a single African name on the credits. This flips that completely. The name on this shoe isn't a brand consultant, it's a Lagos-born festival founder telling her own story, stitched directly into the product. It's not just Nike either. Here's the part people miss. These aren't isolated PR moments, they're part of a pattern. South African illustrator Karabo started collaborating with Nike years earlier, designing Air Force Ones inspired by barbershop signage and cornrow patterns, sneakers that sold out in days and ended up on the feet of NBA superstars. Meanwhile, Puma partnered directly with Nigerian Afrobeat star Davido to build brand awareness across the continent. And homegrown labels are rising alongside the global names. Brands like Bathu, a South African sneaker company that grew from a small idea into dozens of stores, entirely built for and by the local market. Global brands are showing up because the market is exploding. Nike's EMEA region alone pulled in billions in sales last year, and a huge share of that growth is coming from Africa's young, increasingly urban population. Why now? 3 real reasons. 1. Spending power. Africa's middle class and urban youth population are growing fast, and sneaker and streetwear culture is growing right alongside disposable income. 2. Authenticity sells. Consumers, especially younger ones, can tell the difference between a brand that borrows a culture and a brand that hires from it. 3. Social proof. When a shoe launches in Abidjan first and sells out, every competitor watching takes notes. That's exactly why you're seeing Adidas and Puma race to open flagship stores and sign local partnerships too. Nobody wants to be the brand that showed up last. Here's the part that actually matters long term. Every one of these collaborations puts real money, real visibility, and real design credit into the hands of African creatives and African-founded companies. That's capital and credibility that stays local. Funding new collections, new stores, new hires. A Nike collab isn't the finish line for these brands. It's fuel for the next one they build entirely on their own. So what happens next? Expect more signature deals like Grace Ladoja's. Expect more product launches happening in Lagos, Nairobi, and Johannesburg before they hit anywhere else. And expect homegrown brands like Bathu to start showing up on shelves outside the continent, not just inside it.